how would you, like, obviously we have talked about, you know, that you've got the element of weed in there, you know, cannabis. I don't know how to say it because I'm just so innocent and sheltered.
I love it.
Is it weed? Is it spliff? I don't know.
Reefers. Love it. Oh.
And you've talked about your, you know, your community. But for anyone that's listening that hasn't seen your work before, how would you describe your style? Or would you say that you're still finding it? Like, tell us about it.
So my style, it depends which one we're sort of talking about. So if we're talking about, I call this the DoodLEX style, because I feel like this was the style that I sort of like developed, and it was what drew people in. It's the style that I use mostly when I'm doing like illustrative logos and such. So it's very unconventional colour use, very bright colours. I like challenging people to be like, oh, I didn't think those colours would work together, but they do.
I love it.
That's my vibe. Bright colours, lots of like intense highlight. Like I want to make it almost like it looks real, but it's like supernatural. Do you know what I mean? Like, for example, if I wanted to draw someone with like purple skin, I would like to make the lighting so it's like it really looks like their skin is like glowing. It's just a lot of like sort of trippiness and psychedelic vibes and weight. Like I imagine, if you were tripping on acid and you were looking at my artwork, you would have a hell of a good time.
I just think that that's something, that's a question that we love to ask creatives, because everybody reacts the same. I react the same when someone asks me that question. We go into a blind panic of having to fit what we do into a few sentences, and it might be like a little bit psychotic of me, but I kind of like it when like we do ask that question and they squirm and they're like, oh my god, no, I don't really know what to ask, because then that proves that we're all just kind of winging it, right? I don't know, I'll just try stuff, and if it works, it works. If it doesn't, it doesn't, and that's it at the end of the day, and it brings me joy, so fuck it.
So how did you find your style? Was that always, like, from a young age, something that you like to do? Like, play with different colours?
I started... I took a lot of inspiration when I was younger from Pinterest, as you do, and there was like these really cool, like grungy style zombie drawings that used to be about, and I used to absolutely love them.
I used to do them on Tumblr.
Obviously, the best place for them.
Here I am again, all innocent. I used to draw girl bands.
Oh, I literally love it. I just used to draw my friends as zombies because that was, you know,
I love that.
It was the whole like scene crowd and like the emo crowd that was coming onto social media, that was exactly it. From MySpace to Tumblr, which it was kind of that transitional period. But there are some of your drawings that I have seen that had like the grunge and stuff, and I was like, I felt like it was like very nostalgic for me. I was like, oh my god, I love this.
That was it. I was like, for me, it was pure nostalgia, because I started like doing these drippy grunge portraits and everyone was like, yo, these are so cool. And then like a couple of months into it, I thought, I feel like I need to like mention to people like I was hugely inspired, because I feel like people thought like the DoodLEX grunge zombie thing was like my thing. And it's like, I definitely reclaimed it and made it into my own sort of style. But it was hugely inspired by like this like nostalgia, like you say, and it was it just sort of got to the point where I was like, right, now I want to see what Post Malone looks like drippy, or I want to see what like I can make so and so look like in this style. And it was like a thing where I was starting to get really excited about like using this style and developing it.
I love
and that's
that.
where it sort of started.
Because that's the main thing. You've got to be
snowballed.
excited. Yeah, and when you get excited about something, that's where magic things happen.
It does.
And that was why my style changed recently to this sort of like more like sketchy, stripped back version of drawing, because obviously I was doing a lot of tracing. That's my process. Like I would take an image, trace over the top, and my twist was that I would incorporate the original image back into the artwork. So like I'd leave their hair and like colour their hair so that it's like part of the drawing again, if that makes sense. So it's like multimedia, like digital art is how I would describe it. It got to a point where I was just doing like 4-6 hours on a drawing, and I was just doing it for the sake of like, oh, I just need to get some artwork out, and it was really unfulfilling.
Yeah, it is, isn't it?
I got burnout. Like I'd just been going and going and going for like the last year and a half, and I was like, this, like, I'm not enjoying it anymore. Like I'm just doing it for the sake of doing it. So I sort of like played around with reverting back to like freehand sketching and like seeing how I would do with that, and I just realised how much I'd improved my drawing skills, my portrait drawing skills, from like tracing over the last couple of years. And so now my process is like, as I say, stripped back. I don't spend as much time on like colours and perfecting things. I've kind of realised that sometimes the sketch is good as it is, and taking it further is actually taking away from the piece. So that was kind of what this new style was.
I love that.
I just want to sketch, add some colours that need to be there, and then I've also been playing around a lot with like typography and like written word and poetry and speaking. And so yeah, just blending those in together, and it just reinvigorated again my love for illustrating, because I just got to a dead end and I was like, no.
Sounds like it's given you a new lease of life.
It has. Yeah. It really has.